everyone, I hope you're all well. Today is going to be a little DIY video. I actually started thinking more and more about the wedding that's approaching next year. And I've decided there's quite a few things that I want to DIY with. Which brings us to this video today. These are the Unity candles that I DIY'd myself that I'm going to be using for our big day. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys how to make these sand ceremony jars. So we've decided for our ceremony we want to do something with the kids, and also we want to do something for ourselves. So it made sense for the sand pouring ceremony. What happens is you'll have some sort of container, and then both parties will fill in their sand to signify the unity. In this case, Isaac and Ayla are also going to be pouring their sand in. So I think it's such a beautiful gesture for the two parties involved in the marriage, and also if there are children involved. And then of course we want something that's also just for us, which is when we light the candle together, which is also super meaningful. Obviously, there are a bunch of different ceremony rituals you can do. Some people do the ribbon ceremony, some people do tying knots. For us, we've decided it was going to be the sand and the candle. Originally, I looked online and I was a bit shocked at the price, and still I thought, okay, maybe it'll be all right. And then throw in the shipping, and it was just, and I realized, you know what, I could do it myself. For the bottles, I really just wanted to keep them looking very rustic. Same, likewise, for the candle. A nice whimsical look. It's really easy. Figured I will film the process and share with you guys because, I don't know, maybe there's also a lot of you guys out there who are planning weddings and you just want to save some money. And most of all, it's actually really fun and therapeutic making this, and I think it makes it more meaningful knowing that you've added your own touch. So all you really need is just some, I think, is this called Twine? I know you can get it in the garden store, you can get it in any craft store. Some ribbon maybe, you don't necessarily have to. I also have some lace. You can get these in a craft store, like I said. You can find these in your craft store. I think these little wooden shapes, I got them from The Works for really cheap. It can be hearts, it can be circle, it can be like these little tags. So now if you want to add the artificial flowers into the candle, as you can see here, what I did was I just went to the range and I bought like a stalk. I think this cost £2.50, and I literally just took out the parts that I really liked, and I decided for the little candles I just wanted to keep it like greenery. For the main candle, it didn't have flowers with it, so it would stand out a bit more, but it's absolutely up to you. Your glue of your choice. There's some parts where I just used the glue gun because it was just faster for me, but just ordinary PVA glue would be fine. Yeah, in the little tags I did use a Pyrograph little pen to burn the wood, but it's not absolutely compulsory. You just use your ordinary coloring pencil. In the little candles I wrote our names, and then in the main candle I wrote forever. I know for a lot of people, maybe they want to write Mr. and Mrs., maybe they want to put the date of the wedding. You can use like a bigger heart. It's entirely up to you. You can use any size and shape of candle or bottle that you wish. It doesn't even have to be like a bottle. You can just even use like a container. But yeah, I hope this little video is helpful, and let's get started. Alright, so let's start off with our little sand jars, and as you can see, I'm just using a little milk bottle. I think it looks adorable. Taking my PVA glue and a brush, I just brush the areas where I want the string to be, brushing all around the bottle. Now I can go ahead and grab my string, and I figured the best way to do this is to sit the bottle on a table and just gradually spin the tip of the bottle and using your fingertips to push the string down. So keep spinning and wrapping. So I'm happy enough with the amount of area covered of the string, so I'm going to take some glue and seal the ends. Alright, so now let's move on to the lace. Now you can position it any way you like, but I like the scalloped areas at the top, so I'm going to go ahead and measure and snip the amount that I need. I'm going to take the PVA glue again, I'm going to apply it at the front and back of the bottle. Grabbing my lace, I can then go ahead and apply it on top of the glue, sealing the back. So you can choose any wooden shape of your choice. I'm just going to go for little hearts. I've gone ahead and practiced writing my name in pencil. Now for this step, I am using a Pyrograph Pen I bought from The Works for £10. but know that you can go ahead and just use coloring pencil or a pen. Go ahead and stick it at the front and we are done. Cute! Let's move on to the big jar. Since we're going to be pouring sand in here, what I would ideally like is for it to be as clear as possible so we can see the sand inside. I mean, that's just my preference. But for this bottle, I'm just going to follow the same concept as what I did before, except I'm going to stick it at the base. But like I said, there's no right or wrong. If you want to, you don't even need to use the twine. You can just have lace. And I think just the lace by its own in a bottle is really pretty. Alright, so I've figured out how I want the bottle to look like, so I'm going to go ahead and put it in action. Adding the glue into the bottle, spinning the string around the base, adding my lace. For the front of the bottle, I'm just going to take a small little white heart and I'm going to write family and the date of the wedding. Maybe you want to write Mr. and Mrs., maybe you want to pop your names, you want to have a bigger heart, a different shape. It's entirely up to you. Lastly, to give it a really nice clean finishing touch, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue at the top of the bottle and I'm going to add a strip of ribbon. Right. There we go. And voila! Nice and easy. Simple but rustically beautiful. Alright, so now let's move on to our whimsical Unity candles, starting off with the solo ones. You might want to remove any paper packaging that's on your candle. Now, because the surface of the candle is quite waxy, it means we really don't need glue for this part. So I'm just going to hold the string, as you can see with my fingers, and as I wrap around it, eventually it's going to overlap that string, holding it in place. Just make sure you leave a bit of gap in the base, as you can see. And I find a really easy way to wrap around a candle is just by spinning the candle. After it's reached about 2.5 inches length, I'm going to put the candle to the side, and I've decided for the little candles I'm just going to use greenery. So I've got a little bunch and I'm going to take a bit of tape and I'm just going to secure it in place so it stays in place. Again, putting that to the side, I'm going to tie a little bow from a piece of ribbon, and just to stop the ends from fraying, I'm going to add a bit of glue to the ends. I'm going to go for these little wooden tags I got from the works, and I'm just going to put our names on them. Remember, you can just use a pencil or a pen. Now I'm going to go ahead and pierce that tag through the string of our candle. But I'm not just going to let it sit like that. I think it looks much nicer if you tie a little knot to secure the tag neatly in place. Moving on, I can then wrap the string around the candle another few times perhaps. So this is when we take the artificial flowers and you want to position it very close to the tag. With the string, you want to wrap it around the little bunch of artificial leaves completely. And then what you want to do is go back and wrap around the candle a good few times. To secure the ends of the string, I'm actually just going to use Pritt Stick just because it's going to dry faster. So to really stop the bunch of greenery from moving around, I'm just going to glue it in place. You can just use your ordinary glue, but just for the sake of it drying faster, I'm just going to use my glue gun. To finish it off, I'm just going to take a little white bow and I'm going to glue it in front, but it's not compulsory. I think it looks great without it as well. Very demure, very mindful, moving on to the big candle. From my artificial stock, I picked out the leaves and the little flowers I want to use for my candle. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some Pritt Stick at the base of my candle just to really prevent the string from slipping off, because I want the string as close to the base as possible. Same technique as what we did before, wrapping the string around the candle. I decided for the base, I don't want it any higher than 2 inches. I'm just adding some Pritt Stick to seal off the ends again. So originally I attached a tag to the string to wrap around the flower, but you guys will see that I changed it to a heart later, but this could definitely be an option if it's something you would like. So I'm just going to cut off the ends, and now you can see I've got 2 bunches here which I position over the candle. I have to say using a glue gun really is handy because it just dries instantly really fast. You can use your PVA glue, but it just means you would have to wait for it to dry. So I'm going to go ahead and apply another bunch next to it just to thicken up the foliage. I did remove the tag and instead I added a little heart at the front. Finally, our Unity candles are complete. So beautiful. I think they look beautiful. I love the rustic finish. You can use different shapes. You don't have to use a heart. You can use a circle. A little disclaimer, I feel like the candle ceremony, it really wouldn't last very long. And once we bring this home as a keepsake, it really won't be lit. It's going to be kept for sentimental purposes. And that's it, guys, our Unity candles and sand ceremony jars. I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY video. I know it's been a while since I've made one, so this was very, very nice. Take care, and I will see you very soon.